Alright guys, welcome to today's video. I just wanted to start this video off real quick by saying thank you for 1,000 subscribers. Means a lot to me and I appreciate you guys watching. Be on the lookout for the 1,000 subscriber celebration video. Not quite sure what we're doing yet, but it is going to be wild. I promise you that. I will repay you guys for subscribing, so stay tuned. But for now, enjoy today's video. Alright guys, so in today's video, we've got something to do a little bit of maintenance on the truck. So if you guys didn't see it, we did a big burnout in this thing, 100 subscriber special. Blew the rear tires off of it. And what you guys didn't see in the video, and I'll make this real quick, what you guys didn't see in the video was I did do the burnout and I set my tripod up, recorded it, everything, and then I started doing a burnout. In about 5 seconds into this 5-minute long burnout, the camera quit recording for whatever reason. So it was what it was. I drove the truck back home, did an oil change, and put on some fresh tires, kind of looked over the truck, and I went back out there and did it again and actually got it to record that time. Not sure why I quit recording, but anyways, this truck took 2 really hard beatings, and it survived the first one just fine. But the second one, I noticed when we pulled away, the rear end started staying locked up. Like, it's got a limited slip differential in it, but you know, it's supposed to give the tires some slip so that you can take corners and stuff and it doesn't trip the tires or anything. But that quit operating the way it was supposed to. It was just locked up after that last burnout. I'm assuming we maybe welded the clutches together. I'm not really sure. But I kept driving it, thinking maybe it would unlock itself. And then I got on the highway and I was doing about 65 miles an hour. All of a sudden I hear this really loud bang, and then I start hearing what sounds like a bunch of rocks in my rear diff. So I'm not sure what happened, but we're about to find out. I'm going to get the truck jacked up and we're going to pull the rear diff cover off and see what happened. See if it's something we can fix. If not, we'll put a rear end in it. All right, guys, we are under here. We're going to go ahead and remove this rear differential cover. Looks like we've just got 10 13 millimeter bolts. So we're going to go ahead, pull the cover off, and see what falls out of this thing. I'm really curious what's going to fall out of this thing. I'm not really sure what the noise is that it's making, but we're about to find out. Alright guys, we got 1 bolt left. These things were kind of a pain to get out because I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be 13s, but I had to bang a 12 millimeter on them. I'm going to grab a rag real quick and we'll pull this diff cover off. Got brake clean, got some rags, and wish me luck. This is probably going to smell horrible. Hopefully there's like fluid in there. I guess I've never really checked the differential fluid. Well, we've got fluid. So far, no chunks. Oh boy, here we go. Man, this stuff stinks. And that looks horrible. That fluid's nasty. No chunks. No chunks so far. Very surprising. Oh wow. Look at all that metal on the diff cover. Not really what I was expecting though. I guess I was expecting a little more. Oh, I see chunks. I'll take you guys off here. Oh no. Oh boy. That does not look good. That does not look good at all. These would probably be the chunks I'm hearing. Oh, spider gears. There's one spider gear. I should say like a quarter of one. Oh, there that one goes. Or is that parts of the pinion? Because this is a limited slip. Do limited slips not have... I'm gonna go put this thing in neutral so we can spin this thing around. All right, guys, we are in neutral. Let's see if we can turn this thing. Where's the locking mechanism? Oh boy. We're missing that top spider gear. Right in there. That's where those teeth came from. If you see right here, there's a spider gear there. There's a spider gear on the other side. There's a spider gear here at the bottom, and there's supposed to be one up there. Man, oh man, look what you guys made me do. You just had to get me to 100 subscribers. Now we got to change the rear end. So I'm gonna go ahead and start getting this thing ripped apart. It's actually pretty funny. This is from the old tire. It's all wrapped up around that. There's rubber all over. Pretty wild, guys. But I did call a couple junkyards. I know we're going to be able to get a rear end for this thing. Obviously, it's a half-ton Chevy truck. There's a million of these. So we're going to go ahead and start getting this rear end pulled. And then once we have it pulled, we'll wait for a junkyard to call us back, let us know they got it out. And then we're going to go pick it up. All right, so as you saw in the last clip, we went ahead and got the calipers and rotors off. We tied the calipers up with some zip ties, and we freed our brake lines up from the entire rear end. So everything is freed up from the rear end as far as like accessories and the brakes go. And all we have left to do now is loosen the shocks up from the rear end, the drive shaft, and get the U-bolts out. Once we do that out, this rear end is going to come right out, and then we'll go pick up our new one. Found one so far, but it was a non-posi, so they're not a limited slip. It was an open differential, so we're gonna keep looking, see if we can find one that was it's got limited slip. Okay, we found our donor truck. If you look right here, you can see there on the left GT4, which means 373 gears, and then you'll see G80 just to the right of that. That means that it is a limited slip differential and has 373 gears. This will be perfect. So we'll go ahead and yank this one out, and yeah, let's get to work. All right, guys, we're getting this rear end out. I already got the other U-bolts out, got the shocks undone, and she's about ready to come out. So I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but this is a Z71, so it has a limited slip differential and it has 373 gears. So this rear end is going to work out perfectly. It's, you know, it's not a race truck, but if I'm buying a rear end, may as well get one that is better, you know. So I'll catch you guys when we get this thing out. All right, we got the rear end out. There's the donor truck. Z71 had G80 code, and shoot, I don't remember what the other one was. I'll have to put it in the video here. But got the rear end out. Somebody was definitely messing with this thing because it's got some funky stuff going on. So just because of what I've seen so far, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the diff cover off, because just let you guys look at it. So it was obviously leaking diff fluid there, and it's got lug nuts welded on the bolts. So someone was trying to do a quick fix, but we're gonna get this rear cover off and take a look inside. All right, we've got all the diff cover bolts out. We are going to pop this cover off. All right, look at that. There's a limited slip differential. Not really sure how all this works. Somebody way smarter than me would know, but as you know, we kicked one of these spider gears out of ours. It does have 373 gears, so this thing is gonna rip. It'll be way better than what we had. I'm really curious to see how the truck gets out of the hole with some better gearing. So we're gonna go pay for this thing and take it back home and put it in the truck. Real quick, I wanted to show you guys a way to verify gear ratio, because who knows, you know, somebody could have put a rear end in that truck, whatever. But a way to verify is pull the rear cover off and look for numbers on the ring gear. So as you see here, 11, that means 11 teeth on the pinion, and 41, that means 41 teeth on the ring gear. You can do some division there and it'll show you 373s. The rear end is inside. I just drug it in. It's a little bit rusty, but overall not too bad. I knocked off as much rust as I felt like. But we're gonna go ahead and start getting this thing slid up under the truck. Normally, I would clean this thing up just a little bit more and maybe even throw some paint on it, but we are actually wanting to drive this truck about an hour and a half away tonight. In about an hour and a half is when we're leaving. So we got to hustle and get this thing in there. So that's the reason why I'm not too concerned about making it pretty. So let's get her slid up under there. So the U-bolts are in. I got very fortunate in the fact that none of them broke. This truck underneath is very clean. Very, very clean for being an Ohio truck. I know some of you guys down south might think I'm crazy for saying that, but trust me, this is a clean truck. If you guys noticed, I didn't put the diff cover on. Didn't put the diff cover on yet because I wanted to get the rear end in, then spray it out real good, clean it up, and then put new fresh gear oil in it. At this point, I think we can go ahead and lower the jack up out of there. I'm gonna pull this jack stand out. Probably have to jack it up some first. There we go. We'll lower that down. Perfect. So the rear end is officially installed. If you ever need to do a rear end in your truck and you're not that mechanically inclined, trust me, you can do it. Super easy. Especially if it's something like this, half-ton Chevy truck. Just do it. Believe me, it's easy. I've been working on this for 15 minutes, rear end's in. So now we just gotta button it up and we're almost done. Alright guys, rear end is in. We just got the diff cover on. I did use RTV on it instead of a gasket just because I didn't have a gasket. And I know that RTV will seal it up just fine. But at this point, we're just waiting for that to dry so that we can put some gear oil in it. We're gonna throw gear oil in it. We're gonna put the wheels back on and this thing is ready to drive. So I'll catch you guys when we're setting this thing back down on the ground. And then we have to test it. And there's only one way to test these things. So I'll see you guys when we're at that point. All right guys, so the truck is finished. It's sitting over there running. I actually took it to Columbus last night. So I set it down, didn't have much time to film anything. So we just kind of hopped in the truck and took off, and I got to say it went flawlessly. Absolutely no issues at all. The truck ran and drove fine. I did notice that the RPM is a little bit higher, driving about 75 miles an hour. And the reason for that is because it has 373 gears now instead of the 342s that were in it. But we're gonna go test this thing out. I gotta take some trash over to my dad's house and drop off some scrap. And we're gonna just kind of drive this thing around and test it out. So stay tuned for that. The truck definitely feels quite a bit peppier with these 373s. It's not a huge difference, but it's definitely noticeable. Before it would struggle to start turning the tires over. That's why I had to kind of throw the truck in to do that donut that I did. But now it does it with really no problem at all. Yeah, does it with no problem at all. Okay guys, so as you can see, the truck is running and driving great. This new rear end is perfect. It does have a limited slip. I did that little burnout over at my dad's, throwing trash away, and it's got a limited slip differential in it, and it's working properly. So we're gonna go give this thing one more little test, the only way to test a rear end, and that's gonna conclude the video. So thank you guys for watching and enjoy this. Well, the posi works. Thoughts build up until I can't hear. That my mind fills up until. Thanks for watching, guys. And it haunts me somewhere much deeper. Anxiety filling up every space, no privacy. And silently it could build and build until you finally see. Whoa, it's taking over. Damn, no closure, moving closer. No exposure. I just wanna be